How many months to when he will leave office? This is his second term. He's going to end very soon. If he was very serious about this, he should have done it the first term, the very first within 2 months that he came into power, and he will have had the time to implement it. So even if brilliant ideas were given there, who is going to implement those ideas? So that's why I say, give it to Governor Uzodinmma. He's a genius in political showmanship. And he achieved this in terms of giving us a truly international summit. Now, to go to what Boris Johnson was saying. Look, the former Prime Minister was insulting us. Yeah. He said he's very happy with what we've been able to export to Nigeria. What did he say the British have been exporting here? They've been exporting large quantity of whiskey.
Let's begin what's trending by highlighting reactions to former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson's visit to Nigeria to attend Edo State Economic Summit in Owerri. Speaking during the event on Thursday, Johnson celebrated the economic and professional ties between the United Kingdom and Nigeria, describing the relationship as mutually beneficial. He also made a pointed reference to Kemi Badenoch, the leader of the Conservative Party, joking that Britain sends former prime ministers to Nigeria, while Nigeria sends future prime ministers to the United Kingdom. Let's take a look.
I'm proud, very proud, of what we export to Nigeria. We send you pharmaceuticals and bankers and services of all kinds, automotive parts, all sorts of things. We sell whiskey, huge quantities of whiskey, probably more popular somewhere than another. And you send us so much in return. Oil and gas, Nollywood movies, brilliant doctors, nurses, technicians, tech geniuses from Nigeria come to the UK, and we're very grateful. We're very, very, very grateful and honoured. And we send you, former United Kingdom Prime Ministers, and you send us, future United Kingdom Prime Ministers, in the form of Kemi Badenoch, who comes from Nigeria and is doing better and better these days.
Dr. Abati, I was listening to you this morning. I was like, Dr. Abati, hold your fire. There's time for that discussion. Just hold your fire. Because it was like, what an insult, right? I'll take some response on X. I'll take just this one, Obiora, before I come to you, Dr. Abati. Obiora wrote on X, our predicament lies squarely in the hands of leaders who have repeatedly failed to demand fair terms, real reciprocity, and a balance of trade that actually advances Nigeria's long-term interests. After all, what national value is created by importing huge quantities of whiskey while exporting the very oil, talent, and intellectual capital that sustain other economies? A nation that trades its best minds and raw resources for low-value consumables cannot pretend this is partnership. And so, Boris Johnson can stand on a public stage and frame this imbalance as generosity, unaware or uncaring that his praise exposes how casually Nigeria is expected to accept lopsided exchanges as though they were compliments, until we elect leaders who understand national dignity, protect our strategic assets, and insist on trade that enriches Nigeria rather than draining it. Comments like his will continue to sound like graciousness to some, even as they function as an insult, hiding in plain sight. Dr. Abati, over to you.
Okay, very quickly. The positive side that I can take from former Prime Minister Boris Johnson's statement in the Owerri Investment Summit, to which he had been invited to deliver the keynote address, was that he addressed the challenge of insecurity in Nigeria. And he said, I feel safe in Nigeria. I've been reading a lot of things, but looking at it, I don't think that there is any problem in Nigeria. And so this is one international figure who feels very safe to come to our country. And I hope that he will tell his friend, the President of the United States, that Nigeria is safe. He, of course, is a Christian. He's been here and he's been part of the summit. Maybe he has gone back. A very safe environment from his own testimony. And we endorse that. However, the whole idea of inviting Boris Johnson to an investment summit, well, apart from him to just give ideas about what can be done, being a former prime minister, what level of investment is he going to bring? I said the only major investors that I saw there, Aliko Dangote and also Benedict Turama, who can contribute concrete ideas about investment. And then Governor Uzodinmma is holding investment summit. How many months to when he will leave office? This is his second term. He's going to end very soon. If he was very serious about this, he should have done it the first term, the very first within 2 months that he came into power, and he will have had the time to implement it. So even if brilliant ideas were given there, who is going to implement those ideas? So that's why I say, give it to Governor Uzodinmma. He's a genius in political showmanship. And he achieved this in terms of giving us a truly international summit. Now, to go to what Boris Johnson was saying. Look, the former Prime Minister was insulting us. He said he's very happy with what we've been able to export to Nigeria. What did he say the British have been exporting here? They've been exporting large quantity of whiskey. In other words, Nigeria is a country of drunkards.
Is it 48 years or how many years whiskey?
It says whiskey.
You're absolutely correct.
So, in fact, maybe the Nigerian government should do something about this importation of whiskey to Nigeria. Maybe it's responsible for part of our problems.
Yes, sir.
He says they've been exporting pharmaceuticals to Nigeria.
Yes.
So the subtext is that Nigeria is a country of sick people
Who
are taking. Okay, I'm not pointing this Zimbabwe.
Yeah, no,
point
Nigeria. That way.
I'm also an import, Dr. Abati. I'm an import.
And also, is banking services and other services. Then what do we give in return? In terms of installation, we give oil and gas.
Yes.
We give tech geniuses.
Yes.
We give Nollywood.
Yes.
And on top of it all, he says we are giving Britain somebody who is likely to become prime minister of Britain. Can't you see how it's unequal?
Why do you invite former prime minister?
Unequal.
Yes.
So it was a British sarcasm. At his highest. And I thought, he was diplomatically insulting us. And that's why the whole point about investment. I go back to the point made by the vice president, that look, it's only Africans, Nigerians themselves, nations, states here that can determine our own economic direction.
All right.
And that's why these state governments should invest in agriculture, invest in human capital, and Igbos who are outside the southeast, they should also go and invest at home.
Yes.
Not outside. Indiana, Governor Soludo has been calling on Indianambra, come home and invest in your area so that you can create jobs, give opportunities to your people. And then the federal government should support the states with good policies.
All right. Very well said.
Dangote is doing petroleum. Yeah. They said they will stop importation, 15%. The same government said, we are not changing, we have changed our mind. How can the government be encouraging large-scale importation and will not support local productivity? So this is the mismatch, the disconnect that we have. And that's why they can come and tell us that we send the best of our talents. Why they give us whiskey, large quantities of whiskey. Who are the people drinking the whiskey?
We know them. But anyways,
whiskey is our own fentanyl.
All right.
It's our own cocaine.
No, but there's a public
Dr.
official who
hold
talks
on,
about
hold on.
whiskey,
Yes, we know the people who
Yeah,
love
so they are
48-year-old
encouraging the
whiskey, right? Do we produce whiskey here in Nigeria? Okay,
We
now
have
so okay.
potential.
Well, talking about
Ogogoro.
we have Ogogoro, Sapele water.
Yeah. No, they're doing great branding now with it.
Sapele
They've
water.
commercialized it
Anyway.
and made it very formal.
You want to join the British to laugh at
I
us?
want to export Ogogoro to the Brits.
High five. Well, speaking about Igbos coming back to and I think it's quite a valid point from Vice President Kashim Shettima, also with the Anambra State government, calling for the Igbos to invest in the southeast. Meanwhile, Vice President Kashim Shettima at the event described Igbos as the greatest stakeholders in the Nigerian project, highlighting their widespread economic influence across the country. Shettima painted a vivid picture of Igbo economic dominance, stating that half of Abuja is owned by Ndi Igbo. He went further, declaring that the presence of both Igbo and Hausa communities in any location signals safety and vibrancy.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I dare say that Igbo are the greatest stakeholders in the Nigeria project. Half of Abuja is owned by Igbo. Half of the population of Lagos is largely made up from Igbo. There is hardly any place in this country. If you don't see an Igbo man, you better run away from that place. If you don't see a Hausa man, you better run away from that place. Because they go where opportunities abound. So, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish to appeal to our leaders to come and invest in this country, in Imo, and in all parts of the Federation, because this is a nation waiting to unleash its full potentials.
Right. Well, this is a significant statement from Nigeria's #2 citizen, recognizing the Igbo community's vital role in the country's economic fabric. The acknowledgement comes as the federal government seeks to deepen engagement with the Southeast through infrastructure investments and policy reforms. Meanwhile, at the summit, Governor Uzodinmma highlighted Imo State's strategic advantages, including what he called the largest proven gas reserves in West Africa. Some other notable figures at the event include business mogul Alhaji Aliko Dangote, who announced that his conglomerate would become one of Imo State's biggest investors, and former Afrexim Bank President Benedicto Rama, who revealed that the bank is already constructing a multi-million-dollar quality compliance and exports facility in this state. I mean, these are real, well notable investments that we have seen from this summit. Ayo, I'd like for you to tie in your thoughts with Vice President Kashim Shettima talking about the Igbo resilience and, of course, the Hausa communities. It says if you don't see an Igbo man in a community or even a Hausa, just live there.
Business is
that place is not prosperous. But, it speaks volumes.
Yes. We talked about the enterprising nature of the people, of the Igbo people, especially people from the Southeast. And even during campaign season, and presidential candidates talked about how they were going to maximize the entrepreneurship, the entrepreneurial skills and talents in these areas. I remember that Southeast was said to be going to become the Taiwan of Africa. We haven't seen that yet. What it means is that there is great potential in this region, but we need to move from potential to tapping into this potential by investment, critical investment in areas that could produce and fully showcase these talents. And so that's why I again call this, earlier this morning I was talking about the subnationals and even highlighted some areas that the Imo State governor can do. The important thing is that a 2-day summit, economic summit, is good. Optics, very good, right sound bites and so on. But if they end at sound bites, including the promises of investment, then it would have done nothing for the state, despite the fact that lots of money has been spent. If Alhaji Aliko Dangote, for instance, decides that he wants to go and become the biggest investor in Imo State, that is very welcome. But I hope that Imo State provides an enabling environment for businesses to thrive. I was talking about the fact that in the last top 10 index, competitiveness index released by the Presidential Enabling Business and Environment Council, PEBEC, Imo State is not on that list. It means that it is not very easy to do business based on certain policies, infrastructure, bureaucratic procedures in accessing government services and the likes. And so these are the areas that they should look into. Let us move from rhetoric to action.
Yes.
Beyond summits like this, let us show working. Alhaji Aliko Dangote said the best way to attract foreign investment is through domestic investment.
Yes.
If you want people to come and put their money or entrust their money in your system, let them demonstrate to them that you are willing and open for business. Number one, fix insecurity. Ensure that they sit at home on Mondays, which there's billions of naira lost in income and affecting businesses. Look at agriculture. Let us move from mechanized subsistence form to mechanized. Let us develop the value chain, provide good roads, provide water, provide power. These are the critical things. Educate your people, encourage your citizens.
Yes.
These are the things that the governors can do. So in addition to summit, let them show working.
Yes.
Your works would make it even more of a powerful statement that you are ready and willing to attract investors and ready to do business.
All right.
That's what we want to see.
Very well. So overall, I thought it was a beautiful summit.
start.
My dear friend, Stephanie Busari, I'll have to plug her in, was one of the organizers of the event, and she's been doing so well in getting all these high-profile people together in one room. So I'd say...
We have to import Aisha Sese as one of the...
Well, that's why the world is a global village, Dr. Abati. It's good to have that type of shared culture.
We have on this table.
I mean, that's what I just said. The world is a global village. We need to find ways to share culture, share exchange, isn't it so?
Well, I hope they'll invite us to the UK with Boris Johnson
I'm
to
sure if you have people like Stephanie Busari on the table, I'm sure that would happen. Well, kudos to her and, of course, the good people of Imo State. Well, let's take another story now. The Akwa Ibom State government has issued a strong rebuttal to the International Press Institute, Nigeria, following its inclusion of Governor Umo Eno in what it calls a book of infamy for alleged press freedom violations in a press statement signed by Information Commissioner Anaikan Umana. The government described the IPI's claims as false, unfounded, and completely inconsistent with the state's relationship with the media. The government is challenging IPI and its president, Musikilu Mojid, to provide evidence of any journalists arrested, detained, or harassed on the governor's orders since the assumed office. According to the statement, no media house has been shut down or sanctioned in Akwa Ibom State under Governor Eno's administration. Well, the IPI had blacklisted Governor Eno for allegedly barring Channels television reporters from the Government House Press Center in May after they reported that the institute described as an undemocratic remark by the governor. The ban has reportedly remained in place for 7 months. However, the state government insists the issue involves a routine recall of the Channels TV reporters who had covered the state for over 20 years. The government described this as standard administrative practice, not repression. Adding to the pushback, the chairman of the Nigerian Union of Journalists in Akwa Ibom State dismissed the IPI's allegations, describing the claim as baseless, adding that NUJ would be the first to raise alarm if any journalist faced harassment or intimidation in the state. Well, the Akwa Ibom State government is now demanding a retraction and public apology from the IPI. Well, the International Press Institute Nigeria had also accused Niger State Governor Mohammed Umar Bago and the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, of undermining press freedom in the country. Governor Bago earned his place in the Book of Infamy after ordering the closure of Badegi FM in Minna in August. The independent radio station was sealed for airing content critical of his administration, while the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, was cited for what the institute described as a culture of impunity within the police force. Publisher Azuka Ogujiba of Media Room Hub faced repeated arrests while reporting on a land dispute. Other journalists in Kano, Ekiti, and Abuja have since experienced similar treatment with no visible corrective action from police leadership, according to the IPI. Well, however, in a more positive note, the IPI honored the Director General of the Department of State Services, Adiola Ajayi, for his professionalism since taking office in August 2024. The IPI lauded the DSS DG, stating that under his watch, the agency has resolved harassment incidents promptly and engaged constructively with media houses. I would say congratulations to the DSS DG. We can attest to that because, he's been doing so well with connecting with the media and also sharing information. So our congratulations to the DSS DG. Bimbai, your thoughts?
I think I begin with the IPI, and it's important to acknowledge their vigilance in tracing all of these cases and ensuring that they are addressed, that a response is received, and that they go through the processes. So I think it's important to just acknowledge their boldness and their commitment to ensuring that truly press freedom is guaranteed. Yes. However, the trend is very concerning. Of course, each of the governors have spoken out, and in many cases, not even just governors, you have various politicians who do come and refute the allegations. Yes. Akwa Ibom State specifically, we remember what transpired during the period when the governor was preparing to defect, and then there was a video clip that allegedly was not supposed to have gone out and so forth. But until date, that team from Channels TV who'd been covering Government House for over 20 years have not been reinstated. So we now have to ask ourselves, what is it? They say it's a regular procedure, but surely after that, we would have seen some sort of an attempt to repair the media relations. One thing I do have to commend President Tinubu about is that at any given opportunity, he says that he's ready to receive abuse. And we've often said that that's one thing you can't take away from him, is that he does take criticism. He allows us to speak, relatively freely and for people to express their views. But when you come to the subnational level, the level of intolerance is very concerning and alarming. And it's not just with some of the names that have been named here. The stories are far and wide. And that's why I'm saying it's not just governors who are accused of this. Last week, we took an interview with a journalist from, I can't remember the state now, but it was one of the states. And the issue was that there are a number of journalists who have been arrested unprocedurally that are still being held captive. They know they can't go to court because, of course, they know that they don't have the power and the influence in the courts. They don't trust the judicial system to be able to protect them. So in all of this, these are occupational hazards that we face in trying to pursue the truth, in trying to hold public officials accountable, trying to ensure that the high and mighty are always brought to book. And this is the challenge that a fourth estate continues to face, but this is a democracy and will continue to advocate and push back. And again, organizations like IPI and NUJ and so forth continue to do their work to protect us and protect our work and to protect the truth, most importantly.
I like that. We must always learn how to protect our press freedom, which is really the main point. And to your point about Akwa Ibom State, which is, we're going back to Akwa Ibom State now, they did say that, the Channel TV reporters are still allowed to go into their, into the state house, into the government house. That just the reason was because it was a recall process that has, they've been there for 20 years, so they had to rejig that. But again, I'd say kudos to the DSS DG. We want more reports from this IPI as well, just so that we can, share more information with people and organizations more freely as well. Now, talking about Akwa Ibom State, the police has charged a man named David Effiong for violating Governor Umo Eno's recent ban on masquerade activities. Effiong was arrested on Tuesday after he was caught dressed in full masquerade regalia, despite Governor Umo Eno. Well, he's seen here in this video that went viral on Tuesday, standing in front of a group of policemen and a crowd of pressmen and bystanders. I know we discussed this over the week, Tuesday, when we talked about what happened. You call them gods, Dr. Abati. So they now arrest gods in Nigeria. That's what you're saying now. I mean, what happened to his powers at the time? See how humble he was. You like a humble ancestor.
To the laws of the land. I must commend commend the ancestor for just give to Caesar what
Give
is
to
Caesar.
Caesar, but really what happened?
But he was arrested for being a public nuisance.
Oh, was that
and
what-
this is the point that I was
that
trying to make is that, you know, in Akwa Ibom you have Ekpo, in Cross River you have Ekpe, and traditionally these have been strong and important parts of the culture. But lately it has become economic activity. So you have people who will hold your car hostage and won't let you go until you give them money or alcohol or a combination
What about
of the
those
two.
that flog you?
It's Christmas. No,
Yes.
I talked before about religious freedom, Section 38, that both enemies and Christians and whoever, they have the right to pursue their faith and celebrate their religion the way they deem fit. So, Father Christmas is also a masquerade.
But he doesn't
So, no, just wait.
Why are you
just
shocked?
wait.
He's a masquerade.
Just wait.
Oh, that's a great-
Father Christmas is a
Oh, I thought you-
masquerade.
yes.
So, are they
Yes.
also going to arrest Father Christmas
these
when
are
it
the
is Christmas
questions.
time? Because this April masquerades, they want to do Christmas. I've put the caveat that if you are violent, if you harass people, if you constitute yourself into a nuisance, okay, yes, they can regulate, they can give restrictions. But this is Christmas. Everybody can do Christmas. Okay, when Father Christmas comes, what is the difference between Father Christmas?
Father Christmas is not on the streets. They're stopping cars.
No,
he's
you are not
dressing-
seeing some Father
Father
Christmas
Christmas is dressing.
dancing from neighborhood to neighborhood.
Entertaining us.
Masquerades are also entertaining you.
Do not touch Father Christmas. This is a
No, it's a
Father Christmas is also covered up.
Okay, let me add this one to the story. This is all coming as the State House of Assembly rejected a motion to stop the consumption and sale of dog meat, leading to questions about the government's priorities regarding what is regulated. The lawmaker who brought the bill forward had argued that dogs are often killed in a cruel manner, often involving strangulation and blunt force trauma, leading to severe animal suffering. And these are the questions that they're asking about the, Akwa Ibom. You are banning masquerade, and you are then, okay, we should leave their meat.
Dogs meat alone, no.
We should leave their
Everybody
meat.
has their culture. You might not. I think yes, we can regulate the way in which it is done, but there are different areas where people eat things that you are shocked about. I think we shouldn't legislate on people's cultures as long as it's not infringing on the rights of the dog.
Dr. Abati cannot wait to
I just want to
He
say
said
that.
she leave their meat. Hey.
It's called 404.
404, that's what it's
I've
called.
tasted it before. 404. Among our people in our country, it's a special delicacy.
You grew up in that area, so you went to school in that area.
It's a special delicacy.
No, they
not
have to
just
stop
in
it.
that axis,
Come on.
but also in Ondo.
Yeah.
It's like you go to Ondo State now and you tell people not to eye dogs in one way or the other. There are some developing rules about the rights of animals.
Rights of animals,
but
yes.
we haven't reached that level yet here.
Why?
People eat cats.
We have dogs as pets. I have a pet as a
People
dog.
eat snakes,
People
people
eat
eat dolphins.
Yes.
but people
So are you
have rabbits
advocating for
as-
eating dogs?
I'm saying that, there's hunger in the land.
There's
And
hunger in the land.
people-
Ah, God.
Sometimes
No, these animal
There
rights
should
people are not
there
going to
should
be happy with you guys
legislation
today.
about
Yes.
cruelty
Yes.
to animals.
Yes.
We should develop that part of the
I
legislation.
like that.
But this primordial taste bud for 404, it will be difficult.
So you tasted dog meat, Dr.
Well, I'm not
Abati?
saying so, but I grew up in that part of the
Okay,
country.
okay. But I love animals. I love dogs. I can't even imagine them being killed the way that they are being killed. But so, I mean, I guess the conversation.
But you eat beef.
I eat beef, but I don't think that they kill them the way they kill the animals. The
animals,
cruelty
yes.
to I don't think that they kill them.
I can't
She's
even wife.
advocating
I
for
can't even
it.
wife.
She was very
Last week I was like,
she told me about the story.
You have not tasted 404.
All right.
You know what? I may have done so mistakenly. There's one sweet meat I had once there.
But you
I
know
couldn't
it was the dog
place
meat.
what it was, but.
All right. Well, all right. So, Father